Hi, I am Professor Jason Ur. I'd like to tell you about my course, Can We Know the Past? Gen Ed 1105. I'll be teaching it this fall with Professor Matt Liebman. As professors of archaeology in Harvard's Department of Anthropology, we're both really interested in what happened in the past. But we've both been struck by how something that many people think is esoteric or irrelevant can sometimes be so contentious. I'm not talking about minutiae, like whether some broken jar dates to the Bronze Age or the Iron Age. I'm talking about major issues of contemporary social relevance. Right now, for example, we're in the midst yet again of a debate about whether the Civil War was about states' rights or the morality and legality of slavery. If you stop to think about it, the past is routinely deployed in arguments about individual and national identity, land ownership, inequality, and law. Now, if we're going to use the past this way, isn't it important that we get it right? And isn't it important that we, as citizens of the world, recognize when the past is being used to justify modern social and political agendas? We all need to be able to critically evaluate claims about the past. Well, Professor Liebman and I are archaeologists, and our course is going to approach the past via its material manifestations, the artifacts and buildings and landscapes that have survived to the present. We believe this approach is critical for two major reasons. First, writing is a recent invention. More than 99% of the history of humanity is prehistoric. For most of the major transitions in human existence, all we have is the material record. Here we might mention human origins in Africa, or the first domestication of plants and animals, or the first cities. We can only know these events through archaeology. The other reason stems from the biases of the written record. Widespread literacy is a very recent phenomenon. From its origins in cuneiform tablets 5,000 years ago, the written record was created by and for the elites of society. It concerns them, and it represents their views and understanding of how society and the universe are to be constructed. If we are to produce an accurate social history of the past, and not just reflect the values of the elite minority, we need to use the material record. Not everyone could write in the past, but everyone produced garbage. An ancient royal inscription might proclaim the king's subjects were all prosperous, but archaeologists can excavate those houses and determine whether this was actually true. In this course, we'll be looking at what material survives from the past, how archaeologists recover and study that material, and how they recreate reconstructions of what happened in the past. We'll consider how the material and textual records can be studied together, particularly when they don't agree. Then we're going to get critical. We'll look at the social and political contexts in which archaeology was born and developed, and how it has been used to serve the imperial, colonial, and nationalist agendas. We will consider how the past is selectively remembered or forgotten in the forms of monuments and museums. Who owns the past? Whose past matters? Who has the obligation or the right to study the past? Is there a single past, or are all reconstructions equally valid? We'll engage with these topics in several ways. You'll get the foundational material through readings, which will be further illuminated through case studies in synchronous lectures. From me, you'll hear a lot about the intersection of past and present in the Middle East. From Professor Liebman, you'll learn about the juxtaposition of archaeology and history in the modern world, especially here in the United States, where indigenous communities and archaeologists are learning to collaborate. These class meetings will be interactive, so expect to break out with your fellow students into small groups to interact with 3D artifacts or explore virtual landscapes, or debate who is the rightful owner of the Rosetta Stone, just to name a few. Now, in your weekly sections, you'll dig deeper. You'll take the themes of the week and ask questions of virtual data sets using digital mapping and visualization tools on the cutting edge of archaeology. You'll virtually wander Cambridge's old burying ground and discover how the iconography of colonial headstones reflects changing ideas about mortality. You'll view the Earth from space and find archaeological sites based on their appearance on satellite imagery. You'll consider the distribution of Confederate monuments across the American South and see how they have been used both to memorialize and terrorize. Now, in these sections, you'll produce digital maps, artifact analyses, and other short studies that use your new critical tools. But then you'll turn these tools on your own local pasts for your final capstone project. Our first year students will be here in Cambridge, an area particularly rich in history materialized. The rest of you will be elsewhere, probably at home. Wherever you are, you'll critically consider some element of your local past. Ask yourself, what happened in the past where you are? Is it memorialized? And if so, how? If it's not, why isn't it? Does everyone agree on what happened and what is its value? Your capstone project will combine maps, photographs, videos, and your own research in an online platform that you can share with your classmates. If you would like to learn more about what we'll be talking about on these and other subjects, visit our Canvas site. And feel free to reach out to me or Professor Liebman with your questions. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you in the fall.